Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. I don't feel bad for you. I don't. Ma'am, why would you destroy your marriage?
My open marriage backfired bad. I miss my ex-husband. I'm only 23 years old and I'm divorced already. This is so embarrassing. My own friends laughed at me. I had to leave them alone because I realized they were just praying for my downfall anyway. All of my girlfriends, we were friends since middle school. They were jealous that I was getting married at 19, telling me that I was stupid for doing so and I was just going to get a divorce. And once I told them I was getting a divorce, no one consoled me. They basically all laughed at me and said, "We told you so." My ex-husband, Austin, 23, and I, Emily, 23, had been boyfriend and girlfriend since 7th grade. Austin actually proposed to me in high school during our pep rally. In the bleachers, everyone went ballistic and the principal escorted us out of the gymnasium. Our principal called our parents and we both went home early that day. Our parents were actually happy for us, and they always knew we were going to get married, but no one knew that Austin was going to propose to me, let alone at the school. We didn't get married until we graduated from high school, though. That's something we had to promise our parents, and we had to wait to have sex as well. One thing I did lie about going into my marriage. I lied about being a virgin. So one time Austin and I split up during freshman year and sophomore year. Both times I slept with someone at our school that I sort of had a crush on, but I always loved Austin. I knew I was going to marry him, and I always knew that our breakups were temporary. I did sleep with that guy several times, so I wasn't a virgin, but Austin thought I was a virgin, and he definitely 100% was a virgin. He really did not have any experience, and I had to teach him a lot of things. So, after high school, Austin and I had a wedding at his parents' house. My friends, who I thought were my friends, were in attendance, and one was my maid of honor, but the whole time they had attitudes. I knew they were just jealous because they wanted to be wives, but they just kept telling me we needed to go to college and have fun and things like that. That wasn't the plan for Austin and I, so this was the plan. Austin attended college locally. First, we lived with his parents, but we eventually moved out and got our own apartment, and I was working. We both were splitting the bills. He worked a part-time job. We tackled the bills together when we got our apartment. When we stayed with his parents, they allowed us to save up money, but we were not to have children. I was on birth control in Austin, and I still used condoms. We wanted to be safe. If his parents were allowing us to live rent-free in their home, we didn't have to pay for food or anything. We're not going to disrespect them by having a child by accident. And if I were to have one, you bet your bottom dollar that I would have terminated it. I'm not the biggest believer in TA sex, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do. Anyway, at 21 years old, Austin and I decided to get an apartment together. Austin had one more year of school left, and by the way, he was going to school for free, so we weren't going to be in college debt. I had earned a scholarship as well, and I was going to be able to use it once I started school. I never started school, by the way, but that option of going for free on that scholarship is still up for grabs for me. So while I was working full time and taking care of the apartment, because Austin, he was really busy with school. We all knew it was going to pay off once he graduated. I was starting to get bored, and honestly, I was finding people attractive that I worked with. Some colleagues, Austin and I, our sex life kind of dwindled. Initially, the sex life wasn't that great. Anyway, like I said, I had to show Austin some things that I enjoyed. He got better and better. I will say that, but I was kind of used to a different size. I guess I'd say. If Austin did certain things to me, then we were good, but he wasn't always up to do all that work. That work was foreplay. Austin wasn't the biggest fan of foreplay because, well, he was tired, and I understood that, but there were two guys I met at my job, Deshaun and Jamal. I slept with Deshaun first. It was amazing. I'd never had sex like that before, and after I slept with Jamal, I thought it was a good idea to ask Austin for an open marriage. When I confronted Austin about our sex life, and I basically was complaining, he told me he knew something was up. He stopped me after I kept complaining and said, "Are you sleeping with someone else? Just tell me and be honest." I could not be honest with Austin. I didn't want to break his heart, but I told him that I thought that he wouldn't want me anymore. That's why he doesn't like to have sex with me or perform foreplay on me, and I told him that maybe we should try an open marriage for him so he can find someone he actually enjoys, but we can also stay married, and maybe once school is over, we can go back to having a regular traditional marriage. Austin asked me, "So what about you? There's no one else you want?" And that's when I told him about Deshaun and Jamal and how they're cool, and I like talking to them, but I've never had sex with him. I felt guilty just talking to them, and I wanted to be open and honest with Austin about them. I lied to him. Austin said to me, "So you want to have sex with these guys?" I said, "No, I just kind of want to hang out with them, that's all. But if you want to have sex with someone else, I'm okay with it." Austin started crying and told me he knows I'm lying, but if this is what I want, then we'll make it happen. We can open up our marriage, but this is only temporary, and he can't promise that it won't pull him away from me. I walked up to Austin, and I kissed him, and I told him it's not going to pull us away from each other. We both love each other too much. Either one of us would disrespect each other. I trust you. Please use protection, because I will as well. Only if I decide to sleep with anyone. And that's how we started our open marriage. I never questioned Austin about where he was or who he was with. I honestly was too afraid to find out. The thought of Austin being with anyone else scared me, but I honestly did not think he was dealing with anyone because he was so focused on school. Me, on the other hand, I was with Deshaun or Jamal all the time. Deshaun and Jamal actually had a thing together as well. I'd always go to their place before work or after work, but I'd never bring either of those guys to my apartment that I shared with Austin. I'm not that low down and dirty. I had a little bit of respect for Austin, and I wouldn't do that to him. Austin graduated college when he was 22 years old, and when we were there celebrating, there was some strange girl. Some girl I knew nothing about. She was there to support Austin. I learned that this woman was a 27-year-old lawyer, recent graduate, someone Austin had met online, and they were just friends. Austin later served me with divorce papers and replaced me with this woman. Falling in love with someone else was not a part of the open marriage plan. Austin went off and did his own thing when he should not have. This was not supposed to separate us. This was to open up our marriage just to bring us close together. I know that's an oxymoron, but seriously, it was to bring us together. I'd actually hoped that Austin would learn how to have sex better, kiss better, touch better. I honestly read this somewhere, that he could try and practice new things with other people because he wouldn't be afraid of failing. But with me, he was always timid, and I had to guide him. I wanted him to go out and learn how to be more aggressive, but I didn't know how to straight up tell him that. So, the open marriage thing, I thought it would work, but it backfired in my freaking face big time. Not too long after Austin's graduation, he told me that he was leaving me for this woman. He had already served me divorce papers. He had already started his career, and I just felt abandoned and left behind. This is when I try to find comfort with my friends, and they all just laughed at me. "I told you so. You're such an idiot. Why didn't you listen to us?" They were all college graduates now, starting their careers, and a few of them had found husbands. I really felt bad. Maybe I should have taken the route my friends took. Maybe I should have listened to them. Then I started to resent them. They hated me the whole time. They always wanted to see my downfall. I begged Austin to stay married to me, and I told him we should close this open marriage and just be together in a true monogamous marriage. Let's have children. Let's do all the things we talked about. I reminded him that we had this plan once he was done with school. I was to go to school, and we were just going to have this great life together with no student debt. We worked our butts off in high school to make sure we could get these scholarships. He just looked at me and said, "It's over with. Let's just move on with our lives." Austin told me he was compatible with this woman. She loved everything about him, the sex, romance, everything about him. I was devastated. I lost the love of my life. Our divorce took 4 months. We didn't own anything, so we didn't have to split anything, but I just feel so embarrassed. I'm young, and I'm divorced already. This stupid open marriage idea backfired in my face. I read a stupid book about it, and the idea made me feel good about wanting to cheat on Austin. Now talking to my therapist, in all actuality, I wasn't experienced, and I wanted to experience more outside of Austin. I did experience more, and I enjoyed the sex with Jamal and Deshawn, but I didn't love either of them. I loved Austin, and I realize this now. Bad sex with Austin was worth it. I didn't care. It would have eventually gotten better, but I was being impatient, and I lost the love of my life. Today, as we speak, Austin is getting married to this woman that he had met. I don't know if he was having sex with her while we were married or how serious they were, but they met online. Austin is planning to move to where she is. He was able to find a job where she is. She's already established as a lawyer somewhere. I talked to my father about this, and he told me how this was such a bad idea. A man should never move for a woman. My father assured me that Austin will be divorced again. It won't work out for him. A part of me felt good hearing that because maybe I'll have another chance with Austin. I really miss him. He's such a great guy, and we were literally best friends. We know everything about each other, but I destroyed it because I wanted to be intimate with other people. I didn't take my vows serious. I can honestly admit that. I'm not going to come on here and send you an email about playing the victim and accusing Austin of doing this to me and that to me. He's a great man, and I ruined it. I ruined my marriage. I know I did. I can only pray to get that marriage back. If I ever got the opportunity to marry Austin again, I will be the best wife ever. One other mistake I made, and my father is trying to fix this right now, so I allowed Jamal and Deshawn to talk me into doing a corn video. There is a video of me with the both of them on the internet right now. Last I saw, it was on Twitter. My dad is paying to get rid of this video permanently, off of the internet, but it's taking some time. I don't know where my headspace was. I just thought it was a good idea. I was filled with alcohol, and we just did it. This was a whole production thing, and it wasn't just me, Jamal, and Sean. There were other people there also performing. It was like a big group scene of different people, and there were different cameras just moving around the room. We spent all day in this room, just drinking and having a good time laughing and playing games and getting to know each other. Of course, I already knew Jamal and Deshawn, but I guess you'll call them producers. They wanted us to get comfortable with everybody because, well, there was an option that you can end up with this person and that person. We were all tested on site for STDs. I didn't sleep with anyone else. I only wanted to be with who I was familiar with. But currently, my father is trying to get rid of those videos, and I hope that Austin never finds out about it. No one knows about it. That I know of. None of my ex-friends know about it. They haven't reached out to me or said anything, but millions of people have seen this video. And I'm clearly on there, and you can tell I'm intoxicated, but I'm not here saying that anyone forced me to drink or forced me to do it. It was brought to me, and I figured, well, why not? I was getting paid to do it. It wasn't a ton of money, but it was money I could have used. No one made me drink. I didn't take drugs. I don't do drugs at all. I wanted to take those shots, and it made me comfortable. And that night, I will say I had an amazing time. I enjoyed myself, but it's something I do regret. And I hate that I'm putting my father and my other family members that know about this through this. My mother was kind of sad, but she seemed to get over it a lot quicker than my dad did. My dad is just devastated and hurt by it. I actually learned that my mom sort of did something like this when she was younger. Not videos or corn movies, but my mom told me when she was 19 years old, she was with an older man that kind of got into her head and had her walking the blade in Las Vegas. Yes, my mom did those things. This was right before she met my father. It's a devastating story, and my mom actually wrote a book about it. But she had to run away from that guy to get away. She got back to her family and got to the police. Now, my mom says, even in the book, that she wasn't taken by this man, but he did get into her head and made her believe a lot of things. The money that she made, she gave it all to him, and all he did was provide her with a place to stay and made sure she ate 3 times a day. Fast food, that's it. She couldn't go shopping with the money or anything. She was basically just making this man a ton of money and putting herself at risk. So, my mom told me she kind of understood, but it's a lesson I had to learn. My plan now is to get my life together. I'm going to start school, and I'm going to take advantage of that scholarship. I'm going to show Austin that I am the woman he's supposed to be with. As sad as it sounds, I do hope he divorces this woman. Actually, I hope he never even marries her, and he realizes that I'm the one for him. And I don't know how I'll ever be able to convince him. I can't even talk to him. He blocked me via phone calls and text message. We're still friends on Facebook though, but I'm too afraid to reach out to him. What if his new girlfriend, fiance, respond and threatens me or something? I don't know. I truly miss him. Me asking for an open marriage, it really ruined my life and backfired on me big time.
Oh, another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. I don't feel bad for you. I don't. Ma'am, why would you destroy your marriage? You had it all set up. You two had a plan. You had a plan together. You're going to go to school first. You're both going for free. So there's no college debt here. He's finishing school. Right when he's finishing, you're asking for an open marriage, and you get involved with these two guys that have you shooting videos. Now your dad is trying to get the videos off of the internet. And why would you do this to yourself, ma'am? Are you kidding me? You had this great guy who married you and respected you, and he lacked one thing that you said yourself could get better. But you just didn't want to tell him. So you went to somebody else or 2 other guys and fulfilled that pleasure and realized it wasn't worth it. Austin moved on to a better woman that got her stuff together. She's a lawyer. Oh, it's over. You're never getting him back. He believes in love. He believes in relationships. He believes in monogamy. If that woman is truly that type, he's not leaving her for you. He's not going back to you. And look, let's just say he did go back to you. You're trying to wipe this video off of the internet. You'll never tell him about this. What happens if you get back together and he finds out years later? Here you go, hurting him again. Ma'am, let it go. Move on with your life. Learn your lessons and move on with your life. Guys, let me know what you think about this story in the comments. If you want to send in a story, send it to truestorynation@gmail.com. Here, I'll put it on the screen. It's truestorynation@gmail.com. I'll catch you guys at the next one.